And here we go, we are live in game number 2 in this an amazing cash game so far. Caosak was able to pull off the first victory and now is playing as Soviets, fielding, guard mortar coordination, partisans, and airborne troops. On the other side we have Elpern trying to redeem himself as Oster with Jäger Infantry, Festung Armor, and Blitzkrieg. And let's see if the map will have the same gameplay, since double MGs seem to be really prevalent, and the house also played a huge role. It has the nice going down animation though, like the bell tower collapsed first and then the remaining building. That was really good. The only thing that you might have to rethink is the amount of green cover. Like itself, I don't mind green cover in key positions, but as I said earlier, green cover is like, we kinda, the tournament scene agreed on less green cover is better. And Elpern looks like it's this time focusing more on the right hand side, left hand side, sorry. Yes, front and back are blind spots. You can't shoot, like, the only windows are 3 windows on this side and 3 windows on this side. Basically, the windows are probably covering this angle and this angle. It's a lot of vision. I think you can see till here, and which is really big, since that's the base axis. You can see what the enemy is trying to get towards you, and I accidentally went double speed. I'm sorry about that. Caosak so far with a decent map control, but there was some small engagement going on over earlier here, which he lost. So Elpern will surely be on the field again soonish. Meanwhile, he is trying to harass a little bit fuel there, which is nice to see. Especially since Caosak basically at the moment was running double fuel. Oh, this house is interesting because it covers this point and this point. Can be really obnoxious if the enemy gets an MG over here in, because it has windows everywhere. That's something to rethink. Not sure about this building. Like, I don't know how these buildings work. Like, they're so weird. Flamer on the way from Caosak. Caosak, by the way, playing the standard double engineered triple conscript build and merging into the Flamer. Like, he's playing so standard Soviet. Like, Elpern did also play standard, but I think this build is even more standard than the 4 conscript. Trying to go for this point, which doesn't do anything. But we have to consider to make this the cutoff for this side. So if you're able to get the deep launch over here, to deny the fuel from here. Because it's hard to get this point if you're not already controlling this side. So it's probably better to make this point the cutoff for this side. Same, of course, mirrored on the other side. But that's something someone has to explore with more games as a sample. MG42 a little bit out of position there from Elpern, has to fall back. Flamer Pioneers pushing, but he gave up. Meanwhile, Caosak is now going for double fuel again. But Elpern is already shifting his force of advantages. Yeah, that's a fair point. Stormjäger said if you make this points cutoffs, it's make it even more campy towards the middle, that's true. But this is a useless cutoff, right? Because you will never get it unless you're already controlling the side. So you won't cut anything with it. And since it's also so deep, the time that you need more to walk over here, it's probably the time that you need to decap this point. Grant's also really low on HP, needing the heal. Elpern a little bit late there, probably. Ah, heal is up a little bit far away, though. Is it too far away? Nope.
Scout car has arrived.
Yeah, it's an ammo cutoff as well. But like I said, like, if you can cap this point, and the enemy is controlling the whole side of here, it's probably easier just to go for the few point and decap it, deny it. Thanks for the follow, by the way, to everyone. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the cash game so far. It's always a treat to show new maps. 2-2 now will definitely cause some issues there, and Caosak goes for guard mortar and immediately calls in the guard, so he is relying on a soft counter against the 2-2 instead of going for an AT gun, which makes sense. He already has tier 3 on the field. He's probably waiting till he can pull out the T70 and then go into an AT gun. The 2 strategic points. Oh yeah, tech map. How do I open tech map again? That's something I always forget. Not with observer HUD, tactical map. Yes. Yeah, but that's also something you will never cap. That's far too deep, right? Those is more realistic to decap as a cutoff than this point. But yeah. Ah. But let's focus on the game. Elpern with a decent stronghold position in the middle. Having the... Yeah, the green cover is probably overkill over here. That should be probably removed and either switch out with yellow cover or no cover. So that really makes it really campy here, right? You can't... You sit here and, like, if you're capping, the enemy has green. Then you fall back over here, but I think it's too far away that he can return fire. Elpern though was able to stabilize now, has control over his side quite convincingly. T70 on the way from Caosak, second MG on the way from Elpern. Dodged the MG42 there. Elpern now having doubled ammo, that's something always nice to have as Austria, to pump out those MG42s. We recently also discussed the idea, like yesterday in the tournament cast, that maybe denying for ammo for Austria gives you a little bit of a bigger advantage going into the mid game, since the 222 is so cheap that even if you deny fuel, the 222 will still come out on a reasonable timing. But if you deny the ammo points, the enemy can't upgrade those LMGs or has to prioritize it over heal, which also is an issue. So you have a bigger, you can transfer it easier into elite, because LMG Grenadiers are really the power spike of Oster. Like Veteran C2 and LMGs, have fun. Guards doing some nice damage there, but MG42 pinning the guards in green cover there. That's something that Elpern will be really happy about it. And here we go! Not the AT gun as expected, we are seeing the 120mm mortar. Look at those motivated peasants with rifles, putting some heavy machinery on the field. T70 trying to get some damage done against the church. I think some indirect fire will pay off on this map rather quickly. Because we saw in last game how Elpern struggled to get rid of the support teams of Caosak until it was too late. Elpern meanwhile picked Festung Armor to get access to the OKW P4 for Austria, the P4J. Definitely a threat that you have to deal with, especially since it has the same stats as a normal P4 but has better armor, I think. I think it has the same stats otherwise, besides that. And 222 gets picked up from the T70 gut combo. A little bit of a panic retreat there, but probably made sense against the MG42. And that's the wipe that Caosak will like. Denying the potential vision of the 222 with higher veterancy and better scatter. Alright. Then it's like not only a slight buff, it's like a straight up buff. Meanwhile, we have Elpern now going for the 4th Grenadiers. So nothing special there. Like, he's playing also standard meta. Both are playing standard meta. Like, also the doctrine picks. I'm a little bit surprised that he went for Festung Armor, since, like, I think the doctrine that gets picked the most at the moment is Jäger Infantry. But Festung Armor was definitely up in the tier as well there. Especially since the ambush bonus was reduced to 25% instead of 50%. So having the stronger P4 probably is really good. That's a juicy 120mm mortar target, I would say. Oh, Hill Down is amazing, as Toten pointed out. Like, Hill Down P4s have more range than tank destroyers and are so hard to kill, it's amazing. AT gun on the way from Caosak, he's expecting the P4 a little bit too early. Probably just thinking, I have the resources in the bank, so let's complete my build. So once the P4 actually hits, I won't run into any trouble since he doesn't need anything else, right? 120mm mortar at 2 kills, close to veterancy 1. So doing some work and collapse the church there. And also Caosak has enough resources in the bank for taking up, but doesn't have enough fuel for a T-34, so it's not that necessary, but something you might want to consider doing in the long run. We have the guard sitting over here in the house. Can they shoot at the MG? I always struggle to, like, be sure about the ranges because it looks like they can't shoot at the MG. But overall, nice job by Caosak keeping this side under his control with some efficiency. T-70 really low, but should be fine. Raffinate picks up one model. Might get the wipe there. Some support coming in. Nope. And the pressure from the 120mm is something to watch out. Only 3 kills, but a lot of HP damage. MG42 setting up, even though it's flanked by the engineers. Push coming in from Elpern through the center. Mortar has to retreat, probably. T-70 still out of commission, needs to be repaired. Conscript really low, also not going home. Caosak floating a little bit there. Could definitely take up. But first, it looks like he wants to repair C-70 and seize control over this area. Triple cap though running at the moment for Elpern. T-70 getting ready to kill soonish, and once Caosak has his T-70 fixed up, he will definitely be on the map again and dealing out damage. Meanwhile, we have Elpern tier 3 being built, attacked and built, so the P4 is not that far off. But probably he wants to go for the P4J, which is 20 few more expensive, so with the current fuel income it will take some time. And Caosak denying every bit of fuel is really, really worth it. Will be interesting though if Caosak will go for the 85. Not sure how the 85 performs against the P4J. Like against the normal P4, it's really like doing some decent work, but against the P4J, the additional armor really, really breaches the gap. But on the other hand, if it's already like making the T-34-85 has some struggle penetrating, then the normal T-34 would even struggle more. We also have access to the Pak-43, as chat is pointing out. So unlikely to see, because if we see the Doctrine, we never see a Pak-43. But imagine the Pak-43 over here or over here. Probably over here, since it's easier to control for him. Would be an amazing spot. Big assault, by the way, from Elpern on this side. 120mm mortar showing who is sending out the bigger shells there.
Have taken our supply sector.
Still no tier 4, but Caosak will probably build it now with the sweeper, which is retreating there. I like how like Caosak is abusing the fact that the main force of Elpern are always on this side, so he's constantly going for this side, denying resources and everything. Second engineer now on the way from Elpern. Elpern is 4 fuel away from his P4J. MG4 covering the middle. 120mm could open fire once MG42 is spotted. Already at Veteran C1 now has access to the delayed fuse, which is not that bad actually against support weapons. Should use the 120mm mortar though with the barrage ability, as here we go, probably shelling now the MG. P4J now in the queue. Caosak now attacking up, so he's not that far off from his 85 anymore, he just needs to build the tech.
The enemy is encroaching on our territory.
This gun packing a punch there, but 120mm mortar has to retreat. T-17 now jumping in. Probably a panic retreat was not needed, just like soft retreated. But yeah, better safe than sorry.
Panzer IV
Before J now hits the field. I don't understand why we have summer tank skins, but winter infantry skins. I don't understand this, but nobody understands the Code 2 engine. Not even Relic, so that makes sense. Triple cap at the moment now running for Elpern. Mortar now shelling the MG42, and look at the damage! Down to one model. If there was a conscript, it would have been a dead MG42. T-70 goes down? What?
We have lost one of our armored vehicles.
Was it the Teller mine? Or was it just the AT gun and the...
The enemy is attempting to steal our
Where did the T-70 went down? I don't know, Rachel, we will explore this. And the conscript goes down. That's like a big catastrophe for Caosak, losing 2 units in such a brief of a moment that will really set him back. I really want to see though where the T-70 went down. It sounded like a mine hit. T-70 is dead over here. Teller, yeah. The worst way to lose your light vehicle. We have the 85 now hitting the field. And the second AT gun. And here we go. Before a little bit out of position, the wood pile is blocking the line outside for the AT. If it was the premium medium, I would have rammed here. Like, holy shit, that would have been such a secure kill. But with the support of those units, even with the medium, you could have considered ramming. That's a dead grenadier though, if Caosak is not failing his timing. Why? You're not wiping the conscript and the grenadier and the engineer. Why? 3 wipes there, man. Like, it's not like that he doesn't need them after losing some units there. In the end, he was trying to get some damage done on the P4J with the snare, and probably trying to finish it off there. But, yeah, nope. But the guards were firing position. Look how they shrank grenadiers. The T-34 actually pumping out some decent damage there. Yeah, exactly. We don't do wipes. We just make heavy manpower damage by putting them to one model. Meanwhile, Elpern was able to grab the whole right-hand side and now has a firm grip over this side. T-34 is getting repaired. Maybe use crew repair to speed it up. Elpern is not that far off from a second tank. Double AT gun though is penetrating it, so it's something. Rail is now an option. With double ammo and the majority of the map control, it's not unlikely that he can throw it. AT guns are attack moving, but not going for it. By the way, really gentleman-like by Elpern not going for a second AT gun. Snare shot connects, double this gun is trying to DQ the Pack 40, but not the best hits. What is Elpern doing? Why he's always moving forward with his AT guns? Oh no, oh no. AT gun gets decrewed. And that went from bad to really bad if he loses the AT gun. Oh, he decrews it on time. Well, he has manpower. He has 350 in the bank. And though the T-34 is really wounded, AT guns will get overrun. There's no support whatsoever on the field. Conscript only no moving out of the base. Second P4J now in the queue. Caosak, why are you suiciding your AT guns? We have some smoke coming in from the 120mm mortar. AT gun gets decrewed. Oh, T-34 is really low, has to be careful. AT gun will get definitely destroyed. Railway is not an option, you could throw it in the base exit, right? AT gun misses. Railway now on the way. On the AT gun. Caosak saw it though, now will fall back. And this map is called Clin Frontline, and I have a typo. I think it's a typo. It's down there, where my mouse is. It's saying the map name. Yeah, it's not looking well at the moment for Caosak. It looks like the map is slightly Axis favored, or Austria favored. Not sure if it's just because of the current balance, or because of the player, or it's just the map could use some revisits there, but that's not... It's not the end of the world, right? That's the reason why we have those cache games, to test maps out and provide constructive feedback to the map makers. Nate goes off there. The guts could use firing position to get the nice extra. Second T-34-85 hits the field. Oh, that might be a dead grenadier. Nope. Not the RNG roll that favors Caosak today. Nope, standard rules. This is the classical Code 2 game where everything is allowed, or everything is like standard rules. I didn't want to throw in too much of a curveball to the players, and I want to see the map played from both sides. Or I want to see the map twice, just to provide more decent feedback. Yeah, sure, guys, check out the map. I should maybe in the future include a bot command for those maps. We have the hold on P4 coming in. Look how gorgeous it looks with the sandbags there. P4 casually driving by an AT gun and then going home. '85 now going forward towards the middle. 120 at 12 kills, veteran C2. Not looking particularly well for Caosak. Like, his army size is not that bad, but he's just not able to pull off those much needed wipes earlier. And only with 130 VPs remaining on Caosak's side, it will be hard. Soon he will be forced to do plays that he don't want to do just because he's desperate for VPs, and that's always a bad sign. T34 getting a bounce there, that's good, but the P4J also bounces one shot. That's like a bad spot to be in. If he wants to reverse, he can't reverse because of the lock pile. That's a dead conscript. Ah, Grenadier. If this Grenadier survives, I don't know, man. I would be pretty pissed. Oh my god. I saw 3 squads which should have gone wiped this game. We missed the Grenadier wipe though earlier. Elpern had 4. Sorry about that. Looks like, yeah, the P4 forces off the 120mm mortar, the P4J is just going in hull down mode. Grants and Veterans C3 receive damage reduction, which is a really, really good buff. But it's not 20%, it's less, right? It's more relevant against explosives weapons than anything else. Against like rockets, grenades, that's like where damage reduction is really important. Since it reduces the damage you receive there. And here we go, railway! Oh my god. And Caosak GG's out right away. Well, if you're looking for confetti, I can tell you here is some. Human flesh confetti, to be precise. I think that was the final nail in the coffin for Caosak.